I want to talk to you today about a comment that I got. I'm going to flash the comment right here. And this comment was basically talking about, hey, I'm watching you bench 315 in this video. Do you actually have good mind-muscle connection when you're benching 315? So I'm going to talk about mind-muscle connection today. And mind-muscle connection improves over time. And it definitely happens over time. So the first time I benched 315, no, I barely got the weight up, right? Because I did it for one, like every other, young guy in the gym. But over time, I have developed a really good mind-muscle connection with heavier loads like that. So when I first started lifting, I used to work out with a natural bodybuilder in the gym, and I worked out with him pretty consistently. He was in really good shape. So he explained to me, I asked him one day, I had to say, hey, what can I do better with my training to get more out of it? And he said, you need to focus less on the weight and more on the actual connection to the muscle. And he kind of repeated the phrase that Arnold said, like, put your mind in the muscle. And to me, when I heard that, I'm like, I don't really understand what that means. What the hell does that actually mean? So here's how to develop mind-muscle connection. So I want to thank this person for commenting this, because this was a really good topic that's awesome for a lot of lifters to cover, because once you develop that mind-muscle connection, you definitely get more gains. So how you develop mind-muscle connection is what you think about during the set. So now we've all been there where you're doing sets where all you're thinking about is that next rep, right? Like 1, 2, 3, and you start struggling, 4, and you're just focusing on getting it up. Sometimes you're focusing on, oh shit, I don't want this weight to fall on me. Oh shit, I don't want to get hurt. Or you're getting yourself so amped up about a set, and you're so angry about something that happened to your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, and you're mad and you're just pushing the weight, right? But what we think about during the set matters. And I'm not trying to be one of those like crystal people with the freaking rocks that they hold on to. Like, I'm not trying to be that. I'm trying to explain to you, you have to really think about the muscle that you're training. So for example, when I bench 315 now, or over 300 pounds now, I'm focusing on stretching my pecs and then squeezing them at the top. So stretch, flex, stretch, flex. It sounds kind of like stupid, but you want to put yourself in that position. So I'm not focusing on the reps that I'm doing. I'm focusing more on squeezing as I'm doing it. And that over time leads to that developing that mind-muscle connection, and that connection to your mind and the muscle. So I would say, don't rush weight. Instead, what you should do is you should rush control. So on any lift that you do, it could be a dumbbell curl, whatever, don't focus on the weight. Don't even focus on the reps. Focus on feeling the entire movement in the target area, because tension is the #1 thing that grows muscle. And I kind of missed this in the beginning because I read science and I followed all these gurus online. It just said, when you move the weight from point A to point B, you're going to contract all the muscle fibers and you're going to get the most out of it. That's not true. As a bodybuilder, your goal is not to move the most weight as possible. You're not a weightlifter. As a bodybuilder, your goal is to build the best body. And you build the best body by focusing on the muscle group that you're training. So it's okay to take a step back from the weight that you're lifting and allow your mind to kind of catch up with the body. So for example, like I said, the first time I benched 315, I struggled. I barely got it up. I had no mind-muscle connection. It was probably all like, obviously I used my chest, but I'm saying it was probably like I threw other things in there, my elbows, my shoulders, whatever, just to get the weight up. But over time, I developed strength, and every single time I touched 315 after that, I got a little bit better and a little bit better, and I felt more and more control. Now that my max is closer to 410, 415, 420, 315 is like nothing now. And now I can really have a good mind-muscle connection with it. So same thing, like when I'm benching over 400 pounds, I don't have a lot of mind-muscle connection. I'm just trying to get the weight up there. But as I develop the strength to keep moving up, that mind-muscle connection comes with it, okay? And again, if you look at videos of Arnold training, and I love using this as an example because it used to blow me away when I was younger. You'd see Arnold benching 225. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger has his chest is literally a whole tape measure. 60 inches is Arnold's chest measurement. And he's in a video here using 225. It makes no sense. Same thing in pumping iron. Lou Ferrigno, huge. I think he was like 260 when he was competing with Arnold. He's huge, and he's benching 185. So again, it just goes to show you that it's more about keeping the tension on the targeted muscle that you're training and developing that mind muscle connection. And Larry Wheels talked about this in a recent podcast that I heard. He said, I'm a really strong guy. I've incline benched over 600 pounds and never had upper chest. It wasn't until I started using 315 for most of my loads that my upper chest is actually starting to develop. And again, that's because he's able to control the weight and focus on stretching the muscle and squeezing the muscle. So you need to do the same. The weight is kind of irrelevant at this point. It's more important to develop that connection to the muscle that you're training than anything else. And trust me, guys, when you start doing this over and over, like right now, the person who commented that, maybe they bench, let's just say their max is 250. So over time, their max bench is going to move up because obviously they're going to keep overloading with the bench. And soon, let's just say they're usually benching 205 or 225. They're getting a good, contraction with their chest when they do that. Over time, that number will keep moving up. But don't rush it. It's not important what your max bench is unless you're a powerlifter. So instead, focus on feeling the muscle. And if you need help with a program, I got you covered. I have a free 6-week training program that I want to give you. No strings attached. All you got to do is click that link in the comments below. And the reason why I'm giving you this program is because I want to help you to avoid all the mistakes that I made along my 20-year journey, all right? This was Anthony. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.